Now at 9, how area hospitals are dealing with an increase in heat-related illnesses. Plus, Freeman Health System is expanding its reach in Neosho, Missouri with a new residency clinic. And
the new school year is already underway in some areas, and a new online tool could help kids recover from the so-called summer slump. I'm CB Cotton in New York. I'll have more on that story straight ahead.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities in Pittsburgh arrest 2 people and seize thousands of fentanyl pills. Several agencies on the state and local level, including the KBI, Pittsburgh Police, and Crawford County Sheriff's Office teamed up to make the arrest. An investigation led to a search warrant executed this morning in Pittsburgh. During the search, authorities found an estimated 5,000 counterfeit oxycodone pills suspected of containing fentanyl. 2 people, a man and a woman, were arrested. Investigators say 2 semi-trucks that overturned along Interstate 49 today never actually touched each other. It happened just before 5 a.m. near the Goodman exit. The Highway Patrol tells us 1 semi overturned on the right side of the road, and then a second truck came upon the overturned semi, blocking the lane. That second truck swerved and missed the wreck, but overturned into the median on the left. Authorities took 1 driver to the hospital. A Kansas City, Kansas woman has died after she was hospitalized in a near drowning on Saturday. Missouri Highway Patrol reports the victim as Yolanda Munoz Garcia. She was 19 years old. Investigators say she was swimming near the Haha-Tonka State Park when she began to struggle in a current. Witnesses say she went underwater and did not resurface on her own. With the intense heat slamming the 4 states, local hospitals have seen an increase in heat-related illnesses in their emergency rooms. To avoid dealing with that, doctors have some essential advice. Stay hydrated and, if possible, stay indoors. But for some professions, avoiding the heat is challenging. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
During the summer, firefighters in the 4 states have to deal not only with the excessive heat that fires cause, but also with the high temperatures hitting the area. To handle that, the Reddings Mill Fire Department already has a plan in place, which includes working in cycles.
The primary department will begin a fire attack or whatever the operation may be, work for a period of time, and then with our mutual aid partners, they'll go in and work for a little bit of a period of time, and then we just constantly rotate them in and out.
The bunker coats also make it hotter for firefighters. While this layer doesn't let the heat come in, it also doesn't allow it to go out.
It's heavy, it's big, it's bulky.
Firefighters are not alone in having to deal with high temperatures. Emergency medicine physician Dr. Seth Bingman has seen an increase in heat-related illness in the emergency room.
What we're seeing a lot of is people just trying to go about their daily lives. They may be trying just to mow the yard, they may be trying to clear out a shed, they may be trying to just clear leaves out after a storm. But when it gets very humid outside, when the temperature goes up over 100 degrees, just simple everyday activities can become too much in this heat.
According to him, just like the firefighters do, taking breaks is a good idea to stay healthy on hot days. Staying hydrated is another essential step to avoid heat-related illness. Doctors recommend drinking not only water but also drinks like Gatorade that replenish electrolytes you lose when you sweat.
If you don't replace those, your body can't send the signals it needs to send, your organs can't function properly, and you can actually get cases where your organs shut down because of this.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
High body temperature, excessive sweating, dizziness, and confusion are some symptoms of heat-related illnesses. For more information, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Freeman Physician Group in Neosho is getting an expansion with the help of a $1.2 million investment. Freeman is building a family medicine residency clinic for Kansas City University. The clinic will have 6 residents total, with 2 new ones added each year. The residents will perform lab work, medical procedures, and patient care.
Our family medicine residents will have a more intense focus on managing behavioral health conditions. We know that there's a huge shortage in that area as well.
As part of the community, another thing family medicine residents are trained in is care of communities, not only patients in the office, but the community as a whole. And it's important that we have the tools we need to take care of that community. Every community is different.
The clinic is projected to open July 2024. However, Freeman is currently searching for their 2 newest residents. Well, Freeman today also renewed its partnership with Pitt State. That partnership marks Freeman as the official sports medicine partner and provider of the university. It was first established in 2014, and now it will run for another 5 years.
We provide support for the gorillas. So we have the team physician in Dr. Ryan Sorrell. We have the team orthopedic surgeon in Dr. Mike Zafuda. We have a number of athletic trainers and physical therapists. So we provide the entire medical team for the gorillas.
The extension was signed at the Pitt State Plaster Center. Mercy Hospital in Joplin today gave kids a chance to explore different career fields. They teamed up with the Southwest Missouri Area Health Education Center to host a MASH camp. The camp is designed to spark an interest in science and healthcare careers among junior high students. Attendees were able to tour the hospital, get hands-on experience with equipment, and check out an operating room.
So it's a way for them to kind of get their feet wet, kind of have an idea of what that career might entail, and get to meet people actually practicing in the field so that they can ask questions and kind of explore.
How it opens up more like reasons to go in the medical industry and see the help that and the people that need to be helped.
The students were also able to get an up-close look at emergency vehicles. MoDOT is inviting public input on what its funding priorities should be. The department, working with regional planning partners, has identified $1.1 billion in annual unfunded transportation needs for the system. And today they held a meeting in Joplin asking the public to weigh in on where funds should go.
We look at 3 tiers of projects for road and bridges, and then we have a tier of projects for multimodal needs. And so some examples of what we're looking at, the biggest projects include rebuilding the I-49 Route 171 interchange in Carthage to upgrade it so that Route 249 can be interstate status. And then another project we're looking at is design and starting the phases of buying right-of-way for a west bypass of the Joplin metropolitan area.
MoDOT's system covers more than 33,000 miles of roads and more than 10,000 bridges. The ARMA Kansas Homecoming is just around the corner. The festival, also known as ARMA VJ Day Homecoming, dates all the way back to 1946 and is believed to be the oldest running VJ Day or World War II celebration in the country. This year, they brought back the bed races, where a team of 5 people, 4 pushers and 1 rider race down Washington Street through the town.
Bed races are open to anyone, which means organizations can enter, groups can enter, families can enter, 4 people who don't know each other can enter, anyone, so it really opens it up.
The race takes place next Saturday at 11 a.m. following a parade. Well, coming up, we'll have some tips to help get your child ready for the school year, starting with their sleep schedule. More sleep on the weekends could be hurting your gut health. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition finds irregular sleep patterns may increase gut bacteria linked to obesity, diabetes, inflammation, and heart problems. Researchers say sleeping in for 90 minutes longer on the weekends can disrupt the body's internal clock. They call this disruption social jet lag and say it's been linked to poorer diets as well. For children, bedtime is often a trigger word, but a solid night's sleep is exactly what health experts say kids need if they're going to be successful during the new school year. Fox News' Ted Linder takes a look at what parents can do to help children establish a perfect bedtime routine.
A good night's sleep is important for everyone, especially growing kids. But with many children's normal sleep schedules altered during summer vacation, health experts say it's time they reestablish a solid sleep routine as back-to-school season ramps up.
If you want to set your child up for a successful school year, recognize that sleep is tightly linked with attention and learning processes.
A.J. Schwichtenberg of Purdue University says a good bedtime routine should last between 10 to 20 minutes and include activities your child finds relaxing.
If they're younger, maybe their bedtime routine includes brushing their teeth, and then cuddling up and listening to a story, ending with a lovely hug, and then good night. If your child's a little bit older, maybe you still start with that teeth brushing, but then you decompress about the day a little bit. Talk about what their day was like, keeping things calm and positive.
But before kids start winding down for the night, parents should make sure they've had time to release any pent-up energy.
No one as well is set up for sleep when they've been sitting all day.
And once they hit the sheets, how much time should your child actually spend sleeping? It depends on their age.
Preschool age children get at least 10 hours of sleep a night, but really aiming for more of 11 or 13. Kindergarten up until they hit puberty, they're aiming for at least 9 hours. Once you have an adolescent and they've experienced puberty, they have more adult-like sleep needs. So that means a minimum of 8 hours.
Ted Lindner, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, a Columbus High School softball standout is staying local as she commits to play at the collegiate level. John Dales will have that and more in sports.
Well, of course, it turned out to be another super hot day for us today. Temperatures, high temps, most of us got at least 100 degrees, 100 upwards to about 102. And when you have the heat, you dry out quite a bit. And we still are watching the drought situation. This is our new drought tracker. It comes out every Thursday, and you can see the entire area is at least dry. Our southern counties are dry. And then we hit a moderate drought, really, from Bartlesville to Miami over toward Monette. But look at this. Severe drought, Joplin, all the way up toward Pittsburgh. And then you can see an extreme drought when you get from Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Chanute, and then into our far western counties. So we need some rain. We'll take it when we can get it. And we do have some rain chances in the forecast, which is good. Heat advisories, excessive heat warnings still in effect through the daytime hours tomorrow as we deal with the high heat and, of course, the humidity, which has been up there. As we go through the night, we could see a few isolated thunderstorms. The better chances for this to happen is going to be north of I-44, and it's still not that great of a chance as temperatures drop back through the 80s, 70s. We'll only bottom out right around 79 later on tonight. But look at this, at 10 a.m., already back to 87. So we warm up very quickly. We do have some clouds, a few isolated little showers out there, mainly in our northern counties. And again, we can't rule out a few isolated little thunderstorms trying to pop up the rest of the night. But most of the action is staying well to our north, especially north near Kansas City, along the I-70 corridor. That's where most of the showers and thunderstorms have been. But these are going to flare up a little bit more late tonight into the morning hours. And we're still waiting for this big dome of high pressure to break down. It has been giving us the heat, the humidity, and it's actually going to start to break down a little bit as we head into the weekend, and that's good news. That means our temperatures start to go in the right direction, meaning down. All right, a few hit-and-miss showers trying to pop up for us tonight, but a little better shot by morning. So here's about 6 a.m. Scattered thunderstorms, mainly along north of I-44. Again, these are going to be very hit-and-miss, but we are going to have some of them out there. Any thunderstorms that do pop up in the morning, mainly gone by the noon hour. Partly sunny skies, and we really start to heat up. And we could see an isolated thunderstorm trying to pop up again tomorrow afternoon. Look at our highs. Most of us upper 90s to near 100 degrees. So very similar to what we have been seeing. Again, tomorrow night into Saturday morning, a few scattered thunderstorms. Maybe a little bit more widespread as we go into Saturday morning. Scattered thunderstorms to start the day. And then most likely partly sunny skies once again, high temps, upper 90s to near 100 degrees once again on Saturday afternoon. All right, here's your day planner. 78 to start, 93 by noon, 98 by 4, high temp, 101. Heat indices up there again, about 105 to 107 for us tomorrow, and maybe dropping off a little bit on Saturday, but still way up there, but at least our temperatures are going to get a little bit better. Alert day tomorrow, 101, 100 on Saturday, 95 Sunday sounds better, 90 on Monday, 89 on Tuesday. Hit and miss storms most of next week, but temperatures looking much better.
if we can make it through this weekend. Thanks so much, Doug. Well, extreme heat has caused some roads in central eastern Oklahoma to buckle. Brett Range shows us what some motorists have been dealing with.
Right now here in Sequoyah County, temperatures are hovering right around 100 degrees. But if you check the temperature of the road here, it's registering more than 120 degrees. And the highway department says the extreme temperatures can cause some roads to buckle, which is exactly what happened just outside of Vian.
During these heat waves that we get pretty much every summer, it can cause some wear and tear on our roadways.
This is what U.S. Highway 64 looked like in Oklahoma between Vian and Sallisaw. The concrete and asphalt pushed up, buckling due to the heat.
Especially at the joints on these highways, or if there's a crack, the expanding concrete will rub against the other panel or the other surface, and that expansion, that heat, just causes the roadway to pop up or blow out, as we call it.
Crews worked since Sunday night to fix the trouble spot. It's now been patched with new asphalt. ODOT spokesperson TJ Gerlach says it's something highway and road departments deal with most summers, especially during heat waves. He says roads buckling or blowing out usually happens on older ones.
We get roughly 10 to 20 across the state every year. I've seen instances in Minnesota this year, since they have a pretty bad heat wave this year. The city of Tulsa actually yesterday had some road buckling issues as well.
In Crawford County, just outside of Van Buren, parts of Old Row Road are black, and it's not from tire wear. The county judge says the heat is causing the oil to rise to the surface of the chip and seal road that was redone last year, while parts of it are sticky and look like the asphalt is melting. The county judge says crews are monitoring it and that the road is okay for traffic.
Well, coming up, we'll hear from some experts about how to save while buying back-to-school supplies. For some kids across the country, summer is over and they're headed back to class. And some experts are predicting an increase in back-to-school spending this year. That's along with a slight slowdown in inflation. Amanda Sansone has a look at how much more parents are spending this 2023 and 5 tips to save some cash.
New school year, new expenses. Parents are shelling out more cash in 2023 to send their kids back to class. According to a new Retail Me Not survey, the average American household will spend $1,498 on back-to-school supplies, electronics, and clothes. That's $251 more than last year's spending average. Just like with everything else that costs more, experts say parents can blame inflation.
It adds up so fast. It's kind of like Christmas. We're buying 100 different things from 100 different vendors, and it's so easy to lose track.
So, what can you do to save money and avoid a back-to-school spending hangover? Jessica Allen from the website Living Well, Spending Less has 5 tips. 1. Take inventory of what you already have, and then decide what you really need right now, and put the rest on a wish list. 2. Set a budget, and then involve your kids with the shopping.
The easiest way to do this is to give them the cash. This is a life skill. The budgeting is a life skill, and actually paying for items at the counter and interacting with the service staff.
3. Buy in bulk and split the cost with other parents, neighbors, or friends. 4. Stretch those electronics a bit longer instead of splurging on new ones.
Look into items that you can swap or pass down. Is there a graduated senior who no longer needs that graphing calculator?
And finally, wait for the shopping rush to pass.
Wait until your children get into their classes and see what the teacher is actually asking for.
Well, people without an Amazon Prime membership will now be able to get fresh grocery delivery. Amazon's grocery delivery service was exclusive to Prime members who pay a yearly fee, but now non-members in 12 cities, and that includes Boston, San Francisco, and Dallas, will also be able to use the service. Up next, why St. Louis Police Station is backing off its plans to evict its resident cat. Felony. Home evictions are generally carried out by police officers, but the St. Louis Police Department is backing off of the eviction of its North Patrol Division station mascot, a cat named Felony. Felony has lived at the station since it showed up there as a stray in 2017. Its fancy digs at the North Patrol headquarters include a custom-made cat house outside of the station. Felony was set to be removed today and taken to a new home because some people working there are allergic to cats. Well, 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. We meet a couple of Labette County High School students who are selling cookies to make sure their classmates have school supplies. Plus, Miami High School hosts a resource fair for families ahead of the new school year. 2 Labette County students are supplying fellow students in need during the back-to-school season. KOAM's Amber Jenkins talked to the students about their impact on the community.
Back-to-school season means back-to-school shopping, and students in all grade levels need the essentials to start the school year right.
Like pens, pencils, erasers, notebooks, a bunch of paper.
Hillary and Faith sell home-baked cookies to buy school supplies for fellow students in need. They want to be proactive when their community hit hard times.
We started it about 3 years ago, around the time COVID hit, so that we could get school supplies because we knew it was going to be expensive, and we could hand them out to the people that might not be able to get everything that they need.
The girls spend their summer baking the cookies before selling them in town. They think good small town advertising furthers success.
Thank you. Thank you. They can come up and buy them or donate if they would like. And then my dad, he works over in Coffeyville, and my mom tagged him in a post on Facebook, and they were like, hey, we'll donate or we'll buy stuff.
This is the 3rd year Hillary and Faith have been passing out school supplies for the community. Since then, they realized their impact on the community, and they want to keep this going even after they graduated.
We already have a couple kids interested in taking it over whenever we graduate. Yeah, and I hope it just keeps going on.
This year, they raised more than $1,600, which translated into more supplies.
I feel like we have an honor of being able to do that for other people. It makes me feel good knowing that we're making somebody else's day better.
Reporting in Labette County, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Hillary and Faith say they are already planning for next year. Well, they weren't the only ones getting ready for the upcoming school year. The Miami School District today hosted a school resource fair, and parents were able to take their kids to the high school for a number of things, and that includes immunizations, hearing and vision checks, haircuts, and to get school supplies.
Many partners. I probably shouldn't start naming people because, you know, there are so many that I've left out, but our community is great. They love our kids. They know that we love our students, and together, you know, we hope that this will become an annual event that will only grow and grow.
Everything at the resource fair was free of charge. A round of applause is in order. The Rotary Club of Joplin today named its Rotarian of the Year during a ceremony at Missouri Southern's in-zone facility. The winner, Robin McAllister, the manager with Liberty Utilities. McAllister has a long history of involvement with the Rotary and other organizations that serve the community. Congratulations. Well, Missouri teen plans to pay off the school lunch debts for every student at his elementary school. Melanie Johnson explains how.
Sometimes kids' only meal that they can eat in the day is at school. So if they don't have the money to pay for that, then that is a big problem.
DeJuan Strickland was that kid.
I was in 4th grade.
A student at McCurdy Elementary in Florissant.
I didn't even know what could possibly be my next meal in the day, and it was definitely a struggle.
No money to fill the emptiness in his stomach while sitting in the cafeteria.
Seeing all the other kids around me be able to eat their school lunches and I couldn't it was really rough. It was really rough.
The now 14-year-old wants to save the day for other students who still have negative lunch balances ahead of the first day of school.
Honestly, it would be a life-changing experience, just knowing that I helped to impact other kids and help them out in their lives.
A superhero to stop child hunger. This teen comic book author is finding a way to fill a need. His GoFundMe to bring kids out of this circumstance at the lunch table has exceeded its goal. DeJuan now able to pay off every student's lunch debt at McCurdy Elementary School with a $400 personal check to the school's principal. So that first day of school, when that kid can eat and that lunch balance is cleared, what is that going to mean to you?
It is going to be an amazing feeling. Just being able to see that kids can finally be able to eat school lunches and not have to worry about the money or cost of it will be amazing.
A bit later, how parents are using AI to help their children learn information faster in school.
Well, of course, it turned out to be another super hot day for us today. Temperatures, high temps, most of us got at least 100 degrees, 100 upwards to about 102. And when you have the heat, you dry out quite a bit. And we still are watching the drought situation. This is our new drought tracker. It comes out every Thursday, and you can see the entire area is at least dry. Our southern counties are dry. And then we hit a moderate drought, really, from Bartlesville to Miami over toward Monette. But look at this. Severe drought, Joplin, all the way up toward Pittsburgh. And then you can see an extreme drought when you get from Nevada, Fort Scott, Iola, Chanute, and then into our far western counties. So we need some rain. We'll take it when we can get it. And we do have some rain chances in the forecast, which is good. Heat advisories, excessive heat warnings still in effect through the daytime hours tomorrow as we deal with the high heat and, of course, the humidity, which has been up there. As we go through the night, we could see a few isolated thunderstorms. The better chances for this to happen is going to be north of I-44, and it's still not that great of a chance as temperatures drop back through the 80s, 70s. We'll only bottom out right around 79 later on tonight. But look at this, at 10 a.m., already back to 87. So we warm up very quickly. We do have some clouds, a few isolated little showers out there, mainly in our northern counties. And again, we can't rule out a few isolated little thunderstorms trying to pop up the rest of the night. But most of the action is staying well to our north, especially north near Kansas City, along the I-70 corridor. That's where most of the showers and thunderstorms have been. But these are going to flare up a little bit more late tonight into the morning hours. And we're still waiting for this big dome of high pressure to break down. It has been giving us the heat, the humidity, and it's actually going to start to break down a little bit as we head into the weekend, and that's good news. That means our temperatures start to go in the right direction, meaning down. All right, a few hit and miss showers trying to pop up for us tonight, but a little better shot by morning. So here's about 6 a.m. Scattered thunderstorms, mainly along the north of I-44. Again, these are going to be very hit and miss, but we are going to have some of them out there. Any thunderstorms that do pop up in the morning, mainly gone by the noon hour. Partly sunny skies, and we really start to heat up. And we could see an isolated thunderstorm trying to pop up again tomorrow afternoon. Look at our highs. Most of us upper 90s to near 100 degrees. So very similar to what we have been seeing. Again, tomorrow night into Saturday morning, a few scattered thunderstorms. Maybe a little bit more widespread as we go into Saturday morning. Scattered thunderstorms to start the day. And then most likely partly sunny skies once again, high temps, upper 90s to near 100 degrees once again on Saturday afternoon. All right, here's your day planner. 78 to start, 93 by noon, 98 by 4, high temp, 101. Heat indices up there again, about 105 to 107 for us tomorrow, and maybe dropping off a little bit on Saturday, but still way up there, but at least our temperatures are going to get a little bit better. Alert day tomorrow, 101, 100 on Saturday, 95 Sunday sounds better, 90 on Monday, 89 on Tuesday. Hit and miss storms most of next week, but temperatures looking.
Coming up in sports, Pitt State women's basketball plays the first game of its Spain trip. Plus, a Columbus softball standout announces her college commitment. John Dales has those stories and more after the break.
Katie Simpson, who just finished up an all-state junior year at Columbus High School, well, she announces she'll be continuing her softball career at Crowder College. The rising senior gave a ton of credit to her high school coach, Amy Saporito, who she says has been there for her since T-ball. And now that Simpson has the college commitment out of the way before her senior year, she says it feels pretty freeing.
Now that I'm committed, it's kind of a big release off my shoulders, relaxer for a little bit, but I know that when I get to Crowder, it'll be back up because you'll have those bigger colleges looking at you possibly. I personally have not looked into where I will go after Crowder or where I want to go. but I'm kind of just gonna like play it out and see.
And halfway across the world, Pitt State women's basketball is getting an experience that few college teams do. A summer trip with exhibition games against pro teams in Spain. PSU winners in its first game in Madrid, 83-62 today. Every player on its roster was able to get into that game. Head coach Amanda David says she's excited the players on her team get to experience a unique trip like this together, and it shows how the surroundings might be different, but the game's still the same. The Gorillas have another game in Madrid, then one in Barcelona, then they'll be back in Pittsburgh a week from today. Meanwhile, the post-64 Patriots from Pittsburgh are out on a trip of their own in Pelham, Alabama, representing the state of Kansas in the American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament. They started play late last night against the qualifier from Shelby City, Alabama. That contest, a nail-biter. The Patriots trailed by 2 until this RBI triple off the bat of Caleb Scales. That would bring in a couple of runs. It would tie the game up. The teams would continue going back and forth, tie game until bases loaded. Quentin Fears coming up to the plate. Lines one into the outfield. That would be a walk-off, and it keeps the Patriots in the winner's bracket to face Arkansas today. Now, I said earlier that contest would be much earlier than last night, where they played past midnight local time. Turns out I was a little bit hopeful, though. Storms in the area have delayed the start time by about 2.5 hours as the Patriots hope to advance to the semifinals of the winner's bracket. And in pro baseball, Royals are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. No, that's not kidding. I'm actually serious about it. They enter this afternoon's game at Kauffman Stadium with a chance to cap off a perfect homestand. KC, winners of 5 straight. Salvi Perez getting things started in the bottom of the first. He hammers this pitch deep to right field and off the wall. That would bring in Bobby Witt Jr. to the plate. That's a name we'd hear quite a lot in this one. We go ahead to the bottom of the third, 2-0 Kansas City. Witt Jr. at the plate. Already came across on a run. Now he drives himself in. Deep shot to center field and out, solo homer. Royals also getting it done in the field. Up 3-0, bottom 5. This grounder, hot shot up the middle, but Michael Massey, diving stop and the flip to Witt, and then they turn the double play. Royals fans kind of saying, where has this been all season? Getting it done at the plate and out on the fields. Bottom 7 game still in doubt. 3-0 game. Royals have thrown away plenty of those this season. Not this one, though. This swing of the bat from Drew Waters sends it to deep right field and out. 3-run homer. Royals take a 6-0 lead. Bobby Witt Jr. Day continues in the 8th. RBI single. He finishes 3 for 4 with a homer, 2 RBIs and 2 runs. Royals win their 6th in a row, 9-2. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Well, as the summer break ends, there's a new high-tech solution for parents and teachers who want to make sure their kids and students don't lose the learning from last year. Fox News correspondent CB Cotton has more in tonight's edition of our Fox on Tech series.
It's called the summer slump, students putting away the books as soon as school ends, losing a significant amount of learning. Now Brainly, the world's most used education app, has a new solution, an extension for Google Chrome that allows students to keep learning even when they're not in class.
As we think about kids traversing the internet, doing their homework, doing schoolwork, struggling with a topic, we wanted to be able to provide them assistance in that moment instantly.
The goal is to help not only the 3 million students in summer school each year, but also those who get curious while they're surfing the web. It's easy to use. Simply install the extension, then highlight a question or block of text, and you get a list of options, including finding an answer on Brainly's database, which is powered through a mix of artificial intelligence and human experts.
It's a safe place to share your information. We're not collecting any personally identifiable information outside of what we absolutely need just to serve our learners a better experience.
And more high-tech help could be on the way. Most experts say educational tools like these will become more common in the coming years, helping to improve productivity both in and out of the classroom.
That's really the goal here, is to be able to unlock those challenges, move learners forward in their educational journey, and provide positive learning feedback loops.
A new study shows students in 1st through 8th grades lose up to 34% of learning over the summer break. In New York, CB Cotton, Fox News.
Well, smarter than your average bear? This one takes a 5-finger discount straight out of a golf cart. Golfers at a course in Canada might be keeping closer watch over their clubs these days. As Jeannie Moose reports, video shows a bear on the 13th hole doing more than puttering around.
Forget bear cubs.
Oh my God.
We're talking bear clubs. A golf club stealing bear. It happened on the 13th hole at Westwood Plateau Golf Club outside Vancouver, Canada. The bag belonged to Jerome Gignac.
You're sure there wasn't a sandwich in that bag?
I'm sure there was nothing.
No food. Jerome started to follow. But the female bear dragged his bag down a ravine. The good news:
I got really lucky there. All the clubs were dumped out. The putter was still in there just as it went over the edge, and it fell out just at the edge of the ravine.
So all the bear got was a dozen balls and a bag of teas.
The bear is still right there. Hey! No! Hey!
Golf Digest called it the wildest horror movie of the summer, making Golf Bear the new Cocaine Bear. The bears at this course are nothing to sneeze at. 2 years ago, a bear got teed off at golfers and tossed their ball back at them.
Oh, that's hilarious!
Jerome was unable to retrieve his recently purchased bag, but Golf Bear must have been bummed. It wasn't Yogi Bear's picnic basket. Bears are apparently par for this course. And boy, could this girl caddy.
Smarter than the average bear.
Possibly the worst caddy ever. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We leave you with video of a jaguar enjoying a blood popsicle. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.